Dodo ndiyabonakala.
Yeah.
The light is too.
You good? That light.
The light.
Be away from it a little bit.
Like the minute.
Yeah.
But still.
We're live.
Manjong up. Are we live?
Okay. We're starting. All right. Good evening. Oh, no. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm used to doing shows in the evening, but today it's the afternoon. So good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Joining us via various social media platforms, via Facebook, via YouTube, via Twitter, and also via the Dr. Fundi website. My name is Dr. Fundi Lenyati. I'm the host of this show. Today, being Youth Day, June 16, for those of us who are much older, this Youth Day thing is something that just came, just a few years ago. We know it as June 16. So today I decided that I am not going to do the usual thing of coming up with topics that are health related, but we still are in the context of COVID-19. We are in the context of the Youth Month. We are in the context of June 16. And today I decided, no man, I need to invite somebody who was there during June 16. Somebody who remembers what was happening in the townships during that time. Somebody who was influenced in one way or the other by some of the atrocities that he saw in his township of Guguletu in Cape Town. Somebody who at some point had to be moved to the homeland of Transkei because the parents wanted him to study and not get involved in politics. But that did not deter him, because eventually in high school, he actually had to be kicked out for his political activities, and he could only get his matric qualifications by writing as a private candidate. Who am I talking about? I'm talking about a person that all of you know as Ringo, but his real name is Brian Sindile Zanemvula, Ringo Madlingozi. So today it's raining in Johannesburg, so I'm sure it's because I'm hosting him. And in the African culture, the rain is always connected with blessings. So I'm sure our channel today is blessed to have Mr. Brian Sindile Ringo Madlingozi. Ringo, Khateb.
Bele, awo babizwa ngeno mbolo. Babizwa kha abantwana etilungweni. Babanjwa ngokho. Ukuphela umuntu ethi hey tatu umzimela nabo uzimela hey kodwa inabantwana etilungweni yo babi hey inzala ka 76 Hey, igazi linenkohlakalo, igazi linenkohlakalo. Hey, dokotela, hey, undikhumbuza ngeso.
A lot of people were surprised why I'm inviting you, on June 16 because they know you as a musician, but they don't know the Ringo before you became a top musician. That you, as most South Africans during that time, you actually experienced firsthand the brutality, of apartheid. You've lost some of your close friends, to what was happening those days. But let me not tell your story. I want you to tell your story. But tell us about, Usindile, who grew up at Cooks. Just tell us about Usindile. What kind of a boy was he, growing up in Cooks? What kind of a family did he grow up in? What are the things that influenced him specifically around matters political?
Dogodel, let me greet once again Bele. I was 13 years old when the older students, burst into our classroom. I was in Luzuko, higher primary school. They burst up and they ordered the teacher to keep quiet and all of us out of the classroom. I was like, wow, what's going on? And there was that, pandemonium, kids running around. And then, in fact, earlier on that day, I remember I heard, as I was, walking around the corridors of the classrooms, I had teachers getting together, in a murmur that these kids are unruly, and they are messing up. They are distracting, the school, performance is more like they were more like saying that there is something big that is coming, and they were more, they were worried when it was going to happen, because already it was already happening in Gauteng. So but I heard that, but being a child, I never thought that it would happen, and done by the students. There are no, the older guys, there are no. So they got in, and then they chuck us out of the classroom, and they're running around the street, and they realized that there were a lot of other, kids from other schools that were also sent home. And look, within no time, there was smell of tear gas. At that time, I didn't realize what was it. It's still more like I thought that there was something, what do you call this? I thought they were burning tires, but I couldn't see the smoke.
Yeah.
Look, and I remember, seeing this. As a mapul, I would say that, this we used to call them a hippo at that time. These armored vehicles. Yes, and they had this siren on top, and they were making this noise, and just about murdering everyone who was running around. Then I'm like, what is going on? And the parents were running around looking for their kids, and I had to walk from from my school to my house. You're looking at about 5 kilometers, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So I had to walk from section 1, passing section. If the way the townships are being built, that
Yeah.
other roads, they're like cul-de-sacs. So people were just
Almost
running around, and no, but as you go too much in Cape Town, you get ikanga ebai. You understand?
Yeah.
But like the main thing was like, it was just crazy. And I got home. I realized that okay, my older brother and my sister was there, and things were just going crazy, you know. But the main thing is, at that time, I never realized what was happening because I was not that conscious about political situation.
You were
All
just
you know,
getting
we were
into
talking
your.
about as kids, were like the Russians are coming. I'm a Russia figure. No, not even the theory. We're like we were just hearing that I'm a Russia figure. You know, the Russians are coming. Like, who are these guys, Russians? You know, and I remember the day, you know, days later, Makosonke Mkhobata, he's a bishop now.
Yeah.
He's a trumpet player. So he said to me, you know, there's not. Every time we see these hippos passing, he said, let's sing that song together, like Africa lilies to Africa lilies and then when we start singing that, and sometimes we have to sing the song backwards. It's more like trying to, but the main thing is, that's when, you know, we see a lot of guys being shot at, you know, these white people that were in those uniforms. They were just shooting at random. Anyway, every time they see a young black male walking, and we were by our parents to stay indoors.
Yeah.
You know, and from there on, there was fire. Sorry, doctor.
Yes, you know, I'm losing you a bit. You know what?
You know, as you enter,
Yeah.
in any of the townships, you like, you know.
Yeah.
Am I there, doctor?
Yeah. I'm still listening. Yes.
Oh,
Go
okay.
ahead.
Yeah, as I was saying, you know, like fire started to burn and everywhere, and you know, the young guys were burning the beer halls at that time.
Yeah.
You see, in most of these townships, as you enter the township, there is a beer hall, you know, at the entrance of the township and then the exit of the township.
Yeah.
So, you know, they were all like being created that everyone who lives within that township must get drunk, you know. I don't understand, you know, and but the youth were burning them up.
Yeah.
And
You were part of that.
well, I was just running around. You see, to me, it was a very exciting moment. You know, getting into the beer hall that were burning, grabbing, you know, whatever, giving to my uncle. You know, hey, uncle, I've got this.
So you were not politically conscious at the time, but that was the beginning of you being conscientized, because then that introduced you to student politics.
Yeah, you know, and that's when I realized what is happening. See, look, growing up in Cape Town, there's at that time the white guys, the white people behaved like gods. You see, I remember one time when I was working with my father in town in Strand Street.
Yeah.
This young guy, this it was a young boy, but you know these white boys are big and strong. So he was coming and he was walking, coming towards us, and my father he had to push me out, you know, out of this protected area, you know, into the street. And I was very angry that how can he let this one, you know, had to push him out, you know, and that's when I realized it. So I asked him, I said, why are you afraid of this young boy? So I would slap my head and shut up on a two-line or that. I'm like, ish. So that's, you know, those the very first you know, learning tactics and also what was happening within the society. And moreover, you see, I grew up having one pair of shoe for my school, and and the people that were growing around me, we're all the same. We're running around with bare feet, and you know. So for me, it was like I thought it was supposed to be like that. That everyone who is black skinned should be living like that. You see.
Yeah.
And until I the young Christian movement,
Yeah.
Blowers, and then I started to realize that okay, this is what is going on. You see, and then I learned about the first what was and what is apartheid, and why black people are being subjected to such you know
And they were living in squalor in the south of Cape Town when
well,
the other people were
yes,
living in Clifton and other places.
it was I thought it was supposed to be like, I thought it was life was supposed to be like that. As long as you've got this color, you're supposed to when you go to town, get into the train, get the train to take you all these stations. And the funny part is like, um our 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 place was being divided by the railway line,
Yeah.
and and on the other side of the railway, we have colored people, and then on this other side we've got black people. And when you get on the train will take you from Nyanga, Netreg, Langa, up until town. So as we go closer to town, we get white people. You know what I'm saying? So I realized that there was that
Right.
division, and, and I hated to see black people at about five. If I'm in town, you will see the black people get into this Cape Town station
Yes.
underground, you know,
Underground.
and you see them as if they're ants getting into that. And then the whole place changes now. It's a lovely place with white people and all
Yeah.
that. And like, damn. And then in the morning they come up again, come in and work and paint and dirty the place up. You see, and all those things, I'm like looking at them and say, wow. But if God wanted this to be like this, then it's crazy. And every time I would talk to people who are older than me, they never wanted me to talk about such things. You see.
Yeah.
And until look, and then I went to, okay. My parents thought that because at that time things were getting worse. You see, the government of that time was using black on black violence.
Yes.
When they knew that they couldn't deal with us, so they used the black people that were coming from the homeland, so to speak. Okay, coming and they were staying in these hostels.
Hostels.
Yeah, exactly. So now what they would do, and my place was between it was just the last location before you get to the hostels.
Yeah.
And there was a time when I think there was a time of the Veduka, what they what they had, yeah, these guys had wrapped some white cloth on top of their heads so that they uh, be identified, and then they start killing. Man,
Yeah.
they were killing kids. They were grabbing kids, by small infants by their legs and knock them against the wall, and they were just messing, burning. Man,
Yeah.
it was like uh, that's when my parents thought, look, uh, we don't have to lose you guys, because my aunt, was living in
In
Tat
that.
at that time, in Nambizlan. So we were all taken there. In fact, not all. It was myself and my cousins. So we went to Mtata to go and live there, and they wanted us to have a better way of living. And that was the first time that I realized that actually other black people have got bigger houses, like I saw in Cape Town, like crazy. I'm like, no, they're gonna have such big houses. I didn't know. I thought it was like, yes, I'm like, Kanti. So it's not like every black person is like living like this, And then I realized that okay, this whole thing is all like planned, And I'm like, okay, it's all right. I can see, but then that was the my eyes started to be open about these whole things. You see, and yeah,
and you got
Kim can tell you, like
Kim, so tell them Kim, we're gonna talk about that.
The AG.
Yes, the Attorney General. Sorry, the Auditor General. Ukim Makwetu.
I'm losing you, Doctor.
The Auditor General.
Exactly. Yes, we are one because we look.
You guys were classmates.
Yeah, Auditor General has been counting monies ever since. Now I remember when you used to count imali go kwabo, because they were selling a lot of different stuff,
Yeah,
but he would always be there, counting, So I started counting from a long time ago. So it's not like, but I remember we would walk from school, we walk all the way, but talking about different things, and but when that day came and there were riots, so to speak, everything started to change now. And okay, I went to Transkei, and then we met with him in
St. John's.
in St. John's College. So like, okay, so you were also shipped to Mthatha, something like that, you see.
And he came from a family of Pan-Africanism and Black consciousness and all of that.
Oh yes, yeah. Look, most of the people from Equity at that time in Langa were Pan-Africanists, Oh, for sure. Look, I don't know. You see, people who are coming from the cold, deeper, who know the yoke of being, having a knee on your neck.
Yeah.
Yes.
People
come up and be Pan-Africanist one time. Yeah. But the thing you said, amen. There is no, it's us and them. You see. And so I remember, in while I was in St. John's College, there were those exchange students that were coming from New Zealand, I think. So I kept asking them, what kind of life were they coming from, and then I started to realize that, hey, they don't know actually what is going on in South Africa. Yeah, and they came from New Zealand into Mthatha. But I said to them, listen, you must go to South Africa. But they said, no, it's not. I said, no, this is not South Africa. This is Transkei. You see, because remember at that time I had a green
travel
document. Travel document, yeah, to go from Mthatha to Cape Town. I needed a passport. Damn, I'm permanent. But all those things, and
yes. So you got involved in student politics. Yep. I want to hear that part. Okay, now I'm getting involved. I'm not just going to be, this young boy that is a bit confused. I now want to play my role and do something. What triggered that in you?
You see, walking around in town and seeing that just the look from a white person looking at me as if I'm nothing, looking through me, and the way they would communicate with me. And first of all, it was the anger. Then I would ask different people that were older, look, how do you deal with this thing when you get to town? How do you deal with this white person? And some of them, they would treat my father or whoever I'm going with as a kid. I'm like, no, this can't be. What is going on? You see, and as we get together and talk, and then we realize that, Emma, this is just we need to be protected in a way. You see, and remember that time, the political parties were banned.
Yes.
You see, and nobody knew how Mandela's face looked like.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
Or those who knew, they had to be people who are underground, who got a book from 1964 or something.
And all those who knew, they were not around. So you see, we were all like being led by people that were not by faceless people.
Yeah.
And the leadership was not as clear up until the
UDM.
Yes, the days of Busak and yeah. But look, the main thing is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
No. I'm saying those are your formative years that we're actually trying to show you that we are in an abnormal country. From the 76. And then slowly you started becoming aware, exposure, as you were walking through the streets of Cape Town with your dad and being mindful of, things that were happening that were not, acceptable to you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then you eventually, got into, political activism at a school level. And there at St. John's in Umtata, you actually got to be expelled. What made them to expel you?
Remember, we were really working with organizations that were still underground, all right? But we couldn't come out and be open about it.
Yes.
So I'm known as this young man who's remember that time I was the kid man, Irabi.
Yes.
And also,
and a kid man,
yeah. and I would be the guy who brings in movies every Friday, Jatarama and get the movies and all that.
Because you were coming from Cape Town, so you were a bit, you were more enlightened than us, the rurals.
So I come in and play movies Fridays and all that. But then every time I would meet this guy in Wesley, next to just do past Savoy.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'll get information as to what's going on and where the meeting would be, blah blah. And all this. But then I come back to school and I'm just someone that doesn't know until this guy. I think we had a fight with this guy. You kind of there was this, like I say, is a Gauteng Mantimban.
Yes.
Yeah. So, well, he tried to be, like Tsotsi.
Yeah.
And one thing he did to a lady that I was very much interested in, that happened to be closer to you. So I think he did something to her, and then we confronted him. I think Oscar was there, Oscar Mpeta.
Yes.
And but so while doing that, there was this guy, Mr. August.
Yes, Tandy August.
Yeah. So
was a teacher there.
I don't know how he got to make 1 and 1 and all that, and then he says, okay, no, I'm the one that was meeting about China in Wesley and all that, and then there was a time that they just attacked St. John's.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we had to jump and run, and that was the time that I was on that level, on the political level. So I had to run home, you know. I remember that we had to take a bus, chill ones back home.
Back to Cape Town.
Yeah. So before I went back again, then the next time we were being expelled by French. Yeah.
Who was an ex-Rhodesia Stellar Scout.
Soldier.
Yes.
That guy was hard. He was heartless and cold.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Because I wanted us to talk about, just to give a sense of the influences Zako politically at the time. And obviously, I mean, you just mentioned, Oscar Mpeta, whose father was a big person in terms of his struggle those days, the old man. And so, again, those should be some of the influences of NASO as well, in addition to, the Wesley meetings you were going to and everything else. But then you had to go back to Cape Town, and you wrote your matric as a private, student.
JNB,
and you passed very, very well.
Sure. But
and you got admitted to do medicine.
Exactly. But I never.
We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about that, but let's leave that. So the only thing I want to know now on the political one, so that we can move to the Ringo, the musician. All right. Right. Now, on the political side of things, what are the things out of all of that experience that shaped you now and shaped the way of Ngangayo, and some of the things that even now in the Los Bonangai, what are those 1 or 2 or 3 things that come from that era that still, shape the way you see, issues of politics in South Africa?
There was a time that Jimmy Cliff came to Cape Town. It was 1980, Hartley Vale. Hartley Vale is a stadium that is...
Yes, I know.
That's right. So when you got there, and I had some guys, I was with some guys that they said that let's go and see this sell out.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so this guy is a sellout. And then we were talking about that, and there was a guy from PH, I don't want to mention names. So we went there, and while we were there looking at how the whole thing was going, but we realized that look, this guy has broken the ban.
Yeah, the cultural ban.
Cultural ban from coming, and perform.
Yeah.
And but while we were, I wasn't part of the action that was going to happen. But the guys that I were with, 2 of them were just vanished during that time. Then a day later, then I realized that one of them was killed. Okay. Now, so getting the information as to what was happening and all that, and then I got to get deeper into it. Okay, so this is what is going on. All right. So I got influenced by the information that I got during that time.
And that experience.
It started that day when we went to watch. I thought we were going to go watch Jimmy Cliff. Meanwhile, the guys knew what was going to happen, but it never happened.
What were they? I mean, what did they know?
But it never. All they I think it was to disrupt the whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah. But it never happened.
Yeah.
Anyway. So yeah.
All right. Now let's leave that. Let's now come back to Ringo, the musician. Right? Now, in your early days, I understand you were so good with drumming as a kid.
Yeah.
under the age of 10, you were so good with drumming that people in the neighborhood would come and watch you, and some of them would even pay money to watch you. Can you tell me about that?
Like I grew up in Gugulethu, and I spent most of the time in my grandmother's house. You know how it is, the kids would take their kids and have them to live with their grandmothers or whatever. So I was one of the kids, we all go and live with our grandmothers.
Yeah. Yes.
There was a little shed at the back, where tools were stored.
Yeah.
Exactly. So now every time I come back from school, wash my shirt and my socks and hang them up, and then I go, instead of going out and going and play, I go get into that shed, and I had created my drums. What do you call this? Makeshift drums. So where I would dig in different plastic containers, but different depths, so that they can produce different sounds.
Yeah.
And then I would play and sing all the hit songs that I would hear on the radio at the time.
Yes.
And every time I come out of the,
I mean, it's a little burnout, most Bob. Was it not the time you about burnout?
No. Long before. No. No, it was the time of it was, it was only a radio band that was starting early and then stops at 8.
Yeah.
And I would sing all the songs that I would listen to from Radio 5. That was Radio 5 and Radio Huya Whoop. Radio Whoop, So I would listen, and I would sing those songs, and I would sing them in English. I don't know what I'm singing, but I would just sing in my own way. Yeah. But every time I come out of the shed, the neighbors are like over the fence and watching from both sides. But in Gugulethu, the houses are like that. It's like a train.
Train.
I'm telling you, man. Look, the next door, you hear everything from next door. And those are the things that made me angry, you see, because the wall that divides the next house to other one, it's just one brick.
Yeah.
And we hear everything. And I was, my next door neighbors were Izangom.
Yeah.
From Friday to Sunday. It's the gig. We call it Dilali gig. Now, we hear everything. And if they are not there that weekend, the silence is too loud. You want to get out and listen to something, you see, because those are other things that made me angry, with
growing up in a township.
Because the parents don't have privacy to do anything because the kids are there. So they have to ship us somewhere so that they've got the whole house free.
Yeah. And so how did it come then that they gave you the name Ringo?
Well, I was born during the time of the Beatles. There was that Beatlemania kind of thing, you see. So my mother said that there was this song that every time it plays, I would start kicking, from inside.
Yeah.
So her sister.
Yeah.
Umagaz.
Yeah.
What? Ringo Starr looks like drums. Ringo Starr is a drummer.
Yes, it was one of the
Beatles. The Beatles.
Yes.
So in Biza, Ringo Starr and all this. So
you were named that star of the Beatles, basically.
I wouldn't say that I was named after.
No. I mean, as a nickname.
Yeah. Yes. Because And you know, I played. I love drums. That was my very first instrument.
Yeah.
Playing drums and singing.
Yes.
Yes, I taught myself different instruments. You know, as I grew up. But my turning point, Togotayela, what happened? I was like, because when I was suspended in Mtata,
Yeah.
St. John's, I came to Cape Town, and there was nothing for me to do, and it was just gangsters. So I had to join gangsters to safeguard myself. So I joined the Night Riders, and that was being led by my cousin, Ilebukeng. And while we were going to attack, you know, having guns, I've never killed a gun before, but here I am having a gun. We're all moving, as you know, we're going to attack those guys. Oh, bullets came in. And I saw my cousin went like face down. I looked at him like, oh. And that's when things started to change. And mind you, at that time, I'm supposed to be I'm supposed to be performing in at the base in town that night. And here I am in this nonsensical, you know, gathering. But then that was my turning point because, again, Umako Mkhubata, you know, yeah. So he said to me, "Hey man, look, you must you must choose what you want to do. You want to be this person or you want to sing." You see, and remember at that time I'm doing standard 10, but I'm walking around, you know, with gangsters and all that. But yeah, that was my turning point. Then I made that look. I think music is what I want, even though I wanted to be a doctor, and I've already got those prospectus, you know, those.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And yeah.
You got a B aggregate or A aggregate or something like that in matric.
No. It wasn't that, because remember, I came back here. You know, I came to Cape Town, and I was put in joint matriculation board.
Yes.
You know, a very higher kind of thing. What is it?
Standard of exam.
The standards were not like the black schools here, but because I was from St. John's, so it was more or less on par with it. But extra. I remember they were closer to white schools.
You
know, but I did get my you know, matric exemption and all that, so it was fine. You know.
Okay. All right. Now let's
and I was accepted
to do medicine. You decided no.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So I could have been a singing doctor.
Okay. All right. Then let's move on. Now I want us to just focus on your music now. Right. And so I know that when you were in a junior secondary school, you started a music group. You know, the Mighty Guys. You know, and then again you started other groups. But let's focus on the first real group, the one Equays. There was a group called Equays that you formed.
Remember at that time when I came back from Mtata, so I had to do something. It's either, because now I've stopped running around with gangsters, so I had to do something, you know, with the music. So still, Makosonke, Mako's brother, invited me to go and sing for the group that they were having, Equays. And the lead vocalist of the Equays was a lady, but at that time she was not around. So I got in and then I sang. And then when she came back, the guys didn't want her because now I've taken
you
over.
You filled in the position now, and you're doing well.
Yeah, and and she hated me for that.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then,
and later on, you formed another group called Peto that
yes,
took you to Shell Road to Fame.
yeah. You know what happened? When she came back, so I got out of the group.
Yeah.
The quiz. So the guys also just let it go, and then they went to jazz workshop in town where they met Ellen Cameron.
Yeah.
Keyboards and the late Cyril Mugana on keyboards, and so and then they called me again and said, hey man, there's this guy who can sing. Let's bring him in. So they called me to come and be part of the pet.
Yes,
yes. The new one.
And you guys, you won the Shell Road to Fame. This is now 1986.
That's right. And from there on, so we won, and I was supposed to be starting, my year as a doctor at UCT, but I chose to go to Johannesburg.
Yeah.
And I never went back to
Okay, so that's an unfinished story. You and medicine,
Yeah. But
okay.
doc. I mean, like it's very, it's soothing and it's fulfilling for me to have someone to come to me at please. I feel like I've done something. I've healed someone. You see.
Yes,
so I am that doctor that is not conventional, but
yes. No, because we all have got different gifts and different talents. I mean, there's somebody, when I announced that I'm going to have you as a guest, this person said, I'm going to watch this show because this guy is responsible for a lot of kids that were made that were not planned.
Sometimes people they come to me, I don't like I'm just approaching at you when it basically get suited get back a guy no man, who's this person, like who is like we're the owner, you understand? So hopefully get back. The missing tooth.
That's how you were. You had a gap, tooth gap.
I had a missing tooth.
Yeah.
Nalapho yento zaselokishini yabo nje. Like it's easy and all those things. Yeah, but anyway.
Okay. All right. Let's move on. Anyway, you came to Joburg, and life was not very easy when you came to Joburg before you actually made it in 1996 in Govukani. You did a lot of things, but there was not one that really the one that really made you to get to the big level, of music until as a soloist in 1996 you came up with an album called Uvukani.
Yes. Usondela was on the second album.
Okay. Look, all right. Tell us about that.
Coming back to, okay, there was a time where the guys went back to Cape Town, and all that, and they didn't have nowhere to go. So I was I was staying at a park station for 5 days. Yeah, I would get there. I had a small bag, and I walk around, Joe's Street, and then later on I go to park station, and there was a lady that I would just give the bag to and give her 10 rands to take care of the bag. I don't know. She just loved me as a kid, and so then I would go to a club, Countdown.
Yes. I remember Countdown.
Yes, and then I will dance until 4 or 5 in the morning. Then I come to that lady, get my bag, and pretend to go somewhere. And then again, and then on the third day, she asked me, "Where do you stay, Wena?" No, 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 no. I work at night, but I'm lying, Until on the third day, actually, I took the bag, and then I went to McCoy's place, as if we are just coming from a gig in Swaziland. But McCoy knew that no, guys, Petro guys are no longer, in. So that's when he realized that, hey, when you don't have a place to stay. So he organized me a space on his attic, in his house. Yeah.
All
so
right.
yeah.
Vukani, the album.
Yeah.
What was the inspiration there?
Well, I met Bob Marley's producer at that time. So I heard that he was in town, so I could crash the party, and there was a band playing, some songs. So I went to them and said, guys, do you know any songs by Bob Marley? So they said, yeah. So they started to play Bob Marley songs. I sang. This guy was not even interested. And then on the second song, I sang One Love, and then he looked. I said, okay. I said, okay, now I got his attention somehow. So I went to his table, and I introduced myself and said I wanted a meeting with him. So he said I must come the following day, 2:00 at the what you call this, Carlton Hotel.
It was the Inn Hotel those days.
It was the hotel. I was there. I was there 1:00 for a meeting at 2, with all my tapes, TDKs. Yeah. Yeah. Like I was there, bro.
Yeah.
And then at exactly 5-1, one of the bodyguards came. 5-2. This guy came in, got me up, went to his suite, and then this guy was busy doing his things, and he was not. But I kept on playing all my songs.
Yeah.
After an hour, he stopped. He said, "Hey, the music. I didn't hear any. What language do you speak at home?" I'm like, "No, I speak Xhosa." I said, "No, but I didn't hear any Xhosa songs. You're playing all these English songs, but what language do you speak, and why are you singing?" Well, I said, I want to sing. I want to see myself on TV. I want to, I thought I was clever. But he said, whoa. The purpose of singing is to get information from the people and say it out to the people as well. And also you learn and then teach them also. And you must sing about the places that you know. You must sing about the people and everything that you know around you first.
Inspiration.
I'm like, okay. So it was like more of a wake-up call for me. So hence the name Vugan. Like, okay. Then we went to France with the late Brahu. I would like to talk about dead people already. The late Brahu, the late Eamon, all the lates. We went to France.
Yeah.
Then we came back, and with that money, I recorded my very first album, Vugan, and it was a wake-up call for me, and hence the album was more about the conscious waking up, and also the ills and the ups and downs of living.
So it was more about social commentary about the bad things that were happening.
Yeah. And it was, the like the song that like talking about the plight of kids that are behind bars, you see. And also there's a song Eti Temba where I'm singing about the hope that each and every young boy or young girl is having, you see, where I'm singing that how can I concentrate, in at school when I'm hungry. See, ukulala ngesonka uvuka usela amanzi uhamba uye esikolweni. You see, now those are the ills that some of them, the personal, because I know that
Yes, you experience those things.
I experience them. Yes, I know it. But the song and this shop and this bomb, the fagamaz and the swaggy, yeah. And then I go to school. So now that and the pain that was coming through when I sang those songs in the studio, so it was real. And then it touched the people that were listening to those songs. But now it wasn't helping me out with the record company, because they wanted me not to sing about anything that will wake people up, but sing about love. You've got a beautiful voice. Come on, stop singing about these things. There's nothing you can do about this. Life is like this. I'm saying, no, hold on. You say that we are free, but I cannot express and sing about what I'm feeling. So that was the very first fight that I said we have with the record companies.
Yeah. But eventually they won, because then you moved away from conscious type of music to actually this romantic music. So your next album was into romance.
I went deep into like Sonderland. But even though there were 2 or 3 songs like Inkolo and some of the songs that were but at the same time, you see, I had to bring it back also somehow a little bit.
You would sneak 1 or 2 in your album.
Yeah. Like a song like Emi Jondol, where I'm like saying that, listen, much as I know where I'm from, you see, but Mama, don't expect me to be here. I'm not going to end my life here. I'm going somewhere. I'm going there. So also letting those who are and who were experiencing all the hurt and the poverty that I grew up in when I was young. You see, to know that they can get to where I am right now.
Yeah.
So it's a song that says, hey, come.
Inspirational stuff.
Is that now you can be whoever you want to be. Understand? And all. So I would sneak one of those songs in like that. Within love kind of thing, you see. But I hated that, you see. I hated to be told that, listen, sing this because you have a beautiful voice. So don't sing about the struggles and the trials and tribulations of the people. No, but I want to. It's healing me also.
But remember now, he who pays will actually, tell the shots.
That's why That's why I had to do it, doctor, because I knew that if I don't do it, they're not going to do anything for me. And really, after all the fights, when I was like, they knew that now I'm moving out. I'm standing on my own 2 feet. They try to close everything. But there are about what you call 3 or 4 albums that they never pushed because I was rebellious. So
okay, but let's skip all the other ones that I want us to get to the one Enosondela. This is 1997 now.
Yeah. Sonderland. That is the one that I had Emi Jondolo, and also Sondela, the one that
yes, no, I want to know, because for me, Sondela was the one that made you.
Oh yeah.
Because it blew up. Yeah. It blew up in such a big way that it was almost like a national anthem. And it is something that you did not intend, because you didn't want to be a romantic guy. But actually, that song.
The last song actually on the album.
Yeah.
It was the song that I decided to just put it in later. And when the night that we finished doing that song, we went to, there was a place in Hillbrow.
Yeah.
I don't want to mention, I'm not going to promote it, but we got there.
Yeah.
I had that Golf, that gray Golf 1.
Yeah.
Open the put up loud speakers, and then I was playing it from the studio.
Yeah.
Then we played that song more than 100 times.
Yeah.
Just there having fun. And then the following day, I got a call from Ike Pasha.
Yes. Ike.
Yeah, and he was a Metro that time.
Metro FM.
He said, "Hey man, I'm playing this." He played it. Yeah. Look, because I took the song to my exact, EMI. So they took it to
Ike.
Yeah, but hey, listen to this. But I said, no, I want to put it up.
Yeah.
He played it 3 times. After that, he said, no, man, no, listen to this. And then he played again. Then from there on, it was boom. So it was a good thing that they asked me to sing about love.
and from that time onwards, you actually became the man who's got close up a lot, because you kept on coming with more and more of these,
Because it's easy to do, well. You see, it's something that comes naturally. You see, and you see,
I'm many kids who were made without the necessary precautions being taken.
And people always say, "But you are the cause of making these kids." But I think
But a lot of people actually committed. From just having the loose relationships into getting married and all of that because of the music. So let me not just talk about the other side that is not so great, but you forced guys to actually commit.
And I had to
strengthen relationships that were starting to be weak.
For sure. And I would be called to, so I had to run away from being that wedding singer.
Yeah.
and I remember it was from actually it started from you called me and then everyone wanted me to come and perform.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, no, I don't want to do any weddings now. Yes. But I'm glad that my songs are responsible to have made people to strengthen their relationships, and as they say that look, the songs come through me, but not from me. The inspiration is different, and yeah, and still, like now I'm and the funny part of it is actually it's not even funny. When I sing about anything that is coming from the heart, it becomes the big song. Actually, I don't have songs that I just sing. No, I can't just get there and just do no, I can't do that. I apply myself into creating that song the best way.
Usondela ndifuna ubuyela usondela ne lo qala ya usondela ne ka umthinje kancinci ka ubethe ivesi benye.
Okay, hold on. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I'm just why I am. My talent don't be. Okay, le ichim.
Into yam.
No, funa ukuthi It's not they born. It's not just did a little bit, but the only one that created mostly. Come on, then.
Again.
Suka for yandi sit up again.
Yes.
Hema Jula bon Yandi Paza Misa Yo Sisi Masata Long Jana Lo Maputit Yo Ange Kenja Kulivala Nani Huyok Salu Seleno Dwenya you enjoy you so that one it I think it's a past song there. Okay, people started to know me through song there, but that one, the song Kumnagum, it like the album that Kumnagum was in, it went like twice the one from the line.
It was all there.
Oh yes, because of this song, you know.
Yeah. And because you see now today the temperature in Johannesburg is less than 10 degrees Celsius.
Yeah.
You know, Sia Godola. What was the inspiration of Godola, Fontin?
Oh, Godola. Well, Godola.
Yeke ungazichaza ezinye izinto nje ndifuna nje inspiration. You don't have to.
Well, okay, we've seen people that have everything in the big houses, big cars, all that. Then if there is no love, you know, the house is very cold, you see. And so that inspiration was from that knowing that, you know.
So ngela xesha indlu yakho yayigodola basically masidlule ungakusithi nje nangayo mhlawumbe uyathanda nje. Masiye kule the one I said into yami yeyakho. I really want to know what was that, you know. I know that you know there is a saying that people from the Eastern Cape, Amakosa, they believe that somebody possession. Yes, you know, you go and repossess since they repossessed stuff from the British settlers. You know, we are people who like to repossess other people's possessions. So I want to know what was the story when you and into yami yako, something like that.
You see, there are you know, terms that are very strong within Amakosa, you know, and you know, it's like yin and yang in the and that is a very powerful statement, only song, you know. So I thought, look, I have to come up with a song that will make you know, the lovers to know that, listen, without you, I'm nothing. So whatever, if I'm hurt, if I'm hurting you, no, baby, that I'm hurting myself too as well. So I wouldn't do that. You see, it not because of like there are no lies there. Hello, Tomazan. Kunjani nabuwe. kudala ndifuna ukuthetha nawe ntonje ndiyoyika matsatse kuthilo bukhosi nqonda nabo benditsala-tsala mna ndifuna wena wethu babo benditsala-tsala yo vala sithandwa vala ucango ayikudala ndikumele hayi into yam thandwa yakho into yakho yam.
So
what is mine is yours.
yes,
What is mine is yours.
So and then as you were blowing up, you started collaborating with so many international stars. You sang with Simple Red, Teddy Pendergrass, UB40, a guy from DRC, Ngeleka Kandanda. Yes, and then Oliver Mtukudzi. For me, Oliver Mtukudzi was the man, from across Limpopo. Busi Mhlongo, the late Busi Mhlongo, Vicky Samson of the African Dream fame, you've even collaborated with, young people, the late WHP, Umakoy Umkaya, and you were a fan of Tupac as well. When you look back at the level of people that you collaborated with, what comes to your mind though?
Look, I've learned a lot from all these artists, and the best thing that I've learned in them is because they are all coming from different genres.
Yeah.
Okay. So the passion that they do their work, and also what they trigger in me.
Yeah.
It puts me on another level. Look, as you say, Mtukudzi came with that, his, and also Lebo Matos.
Yes, man.
Yeah, I did a song, I'm still want to get that song, Say ndikhumbula mama abendisukela. Shem, she, that is one of the ladies that were very much
one big loss for South Africa, for South Africa. Big
loss. I'm very, coming back to your answer. I'm honored and I'm very it's my I just wish that musicians should understand and know that music is not just to just doesn't have fun. Look, there are the problems that we go through as artists is very people don't understand that look, we have to keep the hype going, have to go and buy clothes that I don't have money for, so that I am presenting who I am.
You guys put up a front and live for us, even if sometimes
we don't live for ourselves, you see. And moreover, Dodela, you see, even the monies that we got paid, people think that we getting paid a lot of money. Yes, it might look it to be like that, but within, if I get money, I pay for the rehearsal first of all. I pay for having the guys to be collected wherever they would be to go and get to the venue, whether they're gonna fly or drive, and then thereafter I have to take them home and give them food, you see, and the whole administration, and then maybe sometimes I would have to go home with 5,000-6,000, nothing, and I can't.
And SARS says, and at that time SARS is coming.
Oh yes, and and they'll be looking at it from the lump sum.
Yeah.
You know, and remember at that time, we even today, that is what musicians are going through. We don't learn a lot about the money management.
Yes.
And that is the problem.
Mm.
And you see, because we always think that I know there is another day coming, and and meanwhile, these days, every little cent that is one gets is being seen and is looked at. Look, we just had a problem now during this COVID-19. Where the Department of Art and Culture promised musicians, that there'll be this 150 million that'll be given to artists. Not only musicians, but dancers, painters, But looking at it, I saw the whole the submissions that were sort of like the ones that were successful, as they say, successful ones. Most of them, the majority of them are for white people.
Johnny.
That was the question that I asked those guys. Tell me, guys, who are these people here? Some of the names you get, Van der Waal saying that he was going to do something in Paris, and all that, and it's going to cost him so much, blah, blah, blah. And then again, the same guy is under a company name. And I'm like, what is going on here? But now our musicians had a problem of not having, first of all, of being tax compliant.
Yes, because to be considered for those things, you must be tax compliant. Yes.
Now, I'm asking Unat, tell me, we are closing the country, okay? And there are guys who are teaching their young brothers and sisters, and also taking care of their mothers and grandmothers here, who are musicians, who depend on social gathering. Now we are closing the country now, and these people, and you are telling me that if you are not tax compliant, drown. I'm not gonna save you. Die. Is there any other way of doing it? Yes, we know that these guys they're not tax compliant. Is there any other way of wavering to save the people this time? There's a lot of musicians who are going through depression right now. Artists. And when you look at it, the monies that have been spent, I don't know who got what. Very few of the artists that I know got anything. Right? Yes, and on top of that, there are these virtual performances now.
Yeah,
where people just go there and get on stage and perform, and then live streaming and all those things. All right.
Yeah.
A lot of monies are being given like that now.
Yeah.
So by the artists who are confronting the department, no, come on, give us something, and then we will give you this space to perform. But what about the art? Urasta. That guy needs all of our support, not to laugh at him when he's doing this.
Yeah, but he sometimes gets it very wrong, though. I know art is the interpretation depends on an individual, but hey,
yes. But the main thing is all about the environment that he is under and what he's doing.
Yes.
I think
from a marketing point, so many.
I think the more we hold each other's hands, like my song saying,
yeah.
If we can do that as a people, you know, I think we can create a better South Africa.
You know, yes. And I mean, like right now, you said, you know, during the lockdown, I think we're in week 9 or week 10. I don't know what week we are in now. But ideally, this should have been a time for artists to actually go deeper into creating stuff. But then you can't be that creative when you are worried about finances, you know, because
when your house is being taken, when your car is being taken, when your little brother is told that, you know, he must go home because the monies were not paid, and the landlord is knocking at the door looking for money and all those things. You see, it's we are not a normal society. That our leaders should understand that look, not all of us, you know, are professionals that are being hired by the government or whatever, but we have a lot of people. You know, the music industry was never organized from the onset. It's a very disorganized organization.
But now that you are aware of that, you know, because I'm gonna get now to your new role of also being a politician in parliament.
Sure.
Because is that a way towards ensuring that at some point you take up the you know, the struggles of you know, the performing arts or arts in general, you know, in that seat of government? Yeah.
Well, you see, I'm glad that the EFF put me on that, you know, seat where I go and fight for the rights of the people that I know best of, like the art industry. You see, and because I know it, I'm living it. Hence, I was saying to Unatiba, is there any other way?
Let's give him respect, Minister of Arts and Culture, Mr. Natim. Yes.
Apologies.
Okay, sure.
When I was saying to the Minister of Arts and Culture, Honorable Natim Tetu,
yes,
that we really need to look at it differently. All right, because we are not in a normal society. Yes, and as I listened to you, Doctor, the other day with Onyu Doctor, yeah, Chames, that we are living in a very, very, very these are trying times, and of course, we need to be healed from everything that has been happening within our country. You see, and so a lot of other things that we are experiencing right now are the results of the disorganization that we were living under in the past, and how we are not organized as musicians is part of that too, and all this sickness of beating, killing our wives and mothers and kids is all part of it too. And this of praising and celebrating alcohol is another. It's another sickness that we are having to deal with. So all those things are part of the problem that you're dealing with, and I'm glad that we are talking about them openly these days. You know, and we have to confront them.
But are there any attempts, though, by the arts community to actually organize themselves and really put their issues. Because there was a time where I was hearing Uguti, the ministry was organizing the space so that there could even be pensions and whatever, benefits that artists get. Money is being taken over a period whilst they are performing, and then they've got at least some security so that they don't die as paupers. Was a number of guys have died as paupers, and people that we thought were really making it. So is it just talk, or is there something on the ground that is actually taking place of trying to unite the arts space so that you guys can get the benefits that you deserve?
Well, ever since we were freed, remember the first one was Mr. Ndebele,
Yes.
The second one was Mr. Jordan. And then it was Mr. Mashatil. Then it was Mrs. Mama, way, my Lord. And then again, and then it was Mr. Mtedu. Now, what I'm saying is, in all the time of these 5 years, we get together, and there'll be a task team that will be, tasked to do until the 5 year ends. Then again, it starts again. Someone else starts something new again. It has been happening like that. Now, another thing is the organization that I first got in when there was Samu, and then it was Musa, and then it was when Kusa came in, the creative workers got together. Also, we were also embedded into that too, and also now it's SIFSA, and look, all these organizations, they get together, but they get to be broken down by mismanagement. Exactly, by mismanagement, and on top of it, you don't know where these monies are going. And but they're there. It's like the office is there, but nothing is going on.
Yes. So now you guys are almost like veterans in the space, and there's the young ones. It was today, and this month is about Youth Month. You guys who are now wiser, you've bent your fingers, you've paid school fees, and there's younger people who are joining the space. What role are you guys playing to try and guide them so that they don't make some of the mistakes that some of you made as they were coming up in the industry?
You see, now the way things are done is different now. You see, everyone is his or her own company, and everything is done on digital.
Yeah.
So no one actually listens to anyone because everyone knows everything.
Yeah.
But all I'm seeing right now is that, look, no one wants to be part of anything, of any organization, especially the musicians, the young musicians.
Yeah.
And rightfully so, because they haven't seen stronger organization that is for artists. You see, as you have explained earlier on, that there was a time where we were talking about having cards where if anyone is coming to perform in South Africa, they must have their cards that explain that they are musicians. Now, even that card, nothing of that sort happened, but we talked about it. So we're busy having all these, symposiums and talking, but nothing is going on. So I'm like, for them, that's why I'm saying it is rightfully so that they don't want to be part of it, and they don't listen to whoever is out to give them advices about anything.
Wisdom.
No. Look, if you want to try and tell someone something and say, hey, listen here, what have you got to tell me anything? Show me what you have. And they're driving, the latest supercars.
Yeah.
And rightfully so, they're making money. We actually should be asking them, how do you guys do it?
But then SARS comes again.
Well, I think now the younger generation, they know what's going on.
So is it a case of you guys learning from the younger guys?
It is like that, actually. It is like that. Yeah. It is like that. Look, you see, even for these submissions,
yeah,
the young guys never even bothered.
Yeah.
They didn't submit nothing. It's only the older guys that submitted, but they never.
Their things were rejected because they were not compliant
about anything in letters. How their business structures is not like stronger. Yeah. But then I still maintain that as kids of South Africa, you don't let your kids die because they are not compliant on anything. Look, there are laws that were twisted because of this state of disaster.
Yeah,
something could have been done. Anyway.
So, but when I was Parliament, so what are you going to do? There must be some portfolio committee. Yeah, yes, and I'm sure you've got a front seat there, or at least an ear, somebody who is in that committee who can agitate and ensure that you guys give a hearing.
We are fighting. I might be alone, or maybe one of us or two of us are doing it. You see,
but there's the other guy. There's Mukwena as well, who is more of an actor. He's also a fighter.
In the portfolio committee of sports, arts, and culture, I'm the only one there.
Okay.
Now, whatever they say, from the chairperson to it's one party.
Yeah.
So whatever monies are being chowed, they go together, they protect one another, and I might fight alone, but they will howl and just throw me under the seat. But we are fighting, Okay. These what I'm talking about is what we always fight. I say, listen, guys, we need to look at these things. But then if you fight within that committee and the majority is saying, no, we know. What do you do? What else can you do? But you have to fight more all the way until numbers. Because the main thing is we need people who are seriously and genuinely wanting South Africa to change. And we don't have such people. We are not led by people who want South Africa to change. That is the main thing. And all those who know and all those who are learned, they look the other way. They don't want to disturb. They don't want to mess their clean images, and they don't want to. They want to keep their sweet nature.
Yeah.
Intact.
Yeah.
But we have to fight for if we're not doctor, you can fight to change everything that you see is wrong. You're going to be fought against because tell me what is wrong in changing people's conditions. What is wrong in making people look better? What is wrong in helping people? And if I steal money, knowing that that money is supposed to be going to that person, and when I look at that person struggling, and what do I say to myself now? I'm not saying to anybody else, but to myself. What is my conscience saying? Yeah. Now we are dealing with people who don't have that thing that is called conscience. They don't care.
Yeah. Okay. I think it's getting too deep, Khatib. Now, I think as we are going towards winding this thing, because we are already way above, the time. That guitar, it's a man, but what I want to find out from you then, there's Ringo, the politician now, and there's Ringo, the musician.
That's right.
Are you leaving music to be full-time in politics?
No.
Or are you going to be doing both, or you are doing both? Because I thought that was your first love.
Yeah, look, Dr. I am, first of all, I am a human being.
Yes.
A potential of making music with my voice and everything.
Yeah.
And I realize that I can heal.
Yes.
At the same time, I am a father that is seeing things that are happening around us as a people, and I am part of the politics that are happening in the country, and I choose to be with the fearless ones, with the brave that are talking and challenging
the status quo,
the power.
Yes.
Now, I've always been that person, but I never had a space to do it.
But many of us, when we saw you in the red overalls, we said, "Hi, man, Ringo must stick to music," and I understand that is your pet hate.
Now you see that is when people look down on on me, when they start to talk like that, as if I don't have brains.
Yeah.
When they say that, no, what do you want? Especially, I heard them, at that time, I was sitting, I was like looking at them like, if I was outside this place, I was going to say things that, they don't like. But let me just keep cool. You see, as if I'm in a wrong space. I'm like, hey, okay, I want to know, it's cool. I was done. All right. But these are these are the moments that we need not to laugh about.
Yes, they put you in a box, So I'm saying you were put in a box as an artist. Just sing. Don't tell us your opinions.
Just sing. Just sing. You don't have brains.
Yeah.
You see, and some of them, if you can sit down and then we talk.
It doesn't happen to you alone though, because Nati, one of the things I've battled with over the last 20 years of being in business, is the fact that people say, but we can only listen to you if you talk injections and tablets. Anything beyond that, you are not worthy to have an opinion. So essentially, it happens.
Yes, you see, and that is, Doc, that is not right, Doc. We should fight that from every angle, because first of all, we are not helping each other to grow. Look at all other nations. They work together. The Indians work together.
Yeah.
The whites work together. Chinese work together. Japanese work together. it is like that. Whether we want to hide, it is like that. So we need also to get together and start working together and and push forward and make sure that we come up with we have a beautiful nation, man. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now, Khateb, good. Of all the songs that you have come up with, I know they are all your babies. All right. Hello, can you hear me?
Oh yes, yeah, okay.
Yes, I'm saying of all the songs that you have come up with that have gone to become top this and top that, I mean, you've got 15 albums, under your belt. Now that means you are an established, you are a veteran. But is there one song that you think this one is really, really my baby? I know all my kids,
my baby.
I love them equally.
Yeah.
This one has just got a special thing for me. Just one.
You see, Asuka foyali sita pekela hey hey mana jula awon ayandi paza misa yo sisi matata lomtana oh maputi ah usala na wena Don't food look now my put you get can jaculibala nani uyohlala uhlele no beni yam you enjoy you Chile, Jananana, Chile, Jananana, Chile, Jananana, Chile, ah, oh, and get Jagulivala, Nani. You enjoy you. That darling. Whoa, there was a sweetie. Whoa, hey.
Yes. Do you have anything new coming up? Is there any new material that is either in the process of being released or has just been released? Well, I heard a song on radio, but I wasn't sure if it's new material.
Yeah, that's one of the songs. Yeah. Ulondiwe.
Yeah.
Ulondiwe. Uvelele no jazz kanje.
Akakuyicho.
Ulondiwe. Londiwe kutheni ngathi nguwe lona zayo
Uthi uze enganxibanga ulolidiwe. The last one, as we really close now, we really close. Ndiyamfuna la ndiyagodola Radebe kawuthi nje kuye, but let's thank our viewers for staying with us for so long. You sharing, your trials and tribulations, your influences, the challenges in the space you are in, your role in parliament. I mean, we don't read about these things all the time, Khatebe. We will read about negative things because we are the nation that likes to lift up Abantu, and once they are up there, we look for scandals, on negative things to bring them down, and so for me to give you this platform was to just say, I want to celebrate you, Jim Kur, Clementle Zombie. I want to celebrate you. I've known you from high school. I've known you all these years, from the Eastern Cape to Joburg, in many of situations where, I was happy. You were there. You sang at my wedding and all of those kind of things. So we must not celebrate people when they are no more.
Thank you.
So for me, I chose June16. I know you are not a youth, but I wanted you to reflect on your youth as a way of saying to the current youth, hang on there, be focused, do what you are passionate about, discover your purpose, don't get, discouraged, and keep on reinventing yourself. The Ringo of the 20s and the 30s and the 40s and the 50s now. Those are different Ringos.
Oh, for sure.
But you keep on reinventing yourself, and there's nothing that should stop you from continuing to do that, for as long as you can breathe. So, Radebe, I just want to say I celebrate you, and this was an enjoyable interview for me. I hope for other people watching as well. So please continue doing what God gave you. Use the skills and the talents that God gave you, but also in that big house called the Parliament, do more. I know, maybe I'm not sure if we're in the right or in the same way of seeing politics, but that's not the point. We need diverse voices in South Africa, because if you don't have diverse voices and we are all a clone, of one another, then so we do need people with different voices, because by doing that, we will take the country forward, and those who are in power will not relax and be complacent. And so, but at the end of the day, I've known you long before you became a red overall wearer, and and politics come and go.
I know when you're wearing those red techies and the white tie and the white... for sure.
No, but thank you for giving me this time, and also affording our viewers time to just get to know Usindile, not Ringo, Usindile, Brian, Madlingozi, because I think sometimes it's important to look beyond the artist and know the man behind, the name, the stage name, which is Uringo. And mhlekazi man, hayi ke kawusibethe ke ngogodola, then ke when it ends, I will end the show.
Phela nami manibulela manje idano sithi sonke nje abuthi yabulisa bona wonke umuntu uyazi manje athi sinefika athi ingabuphi western sun kuyabanda pekhaya uzobuyani oh darling wam yagodoka. Yes.
It was
Thank you for the time and thank you for listening. And yes, man, please let us stay home. Yes, singahambi. Stay safe and wash those hands. Would you talk to wash those hands and make sure that you uhlale unjalo and safe and yeah, place yourself in a very right position that don't have money this COVID. Hey, this thing is taking people day in and day out. I don't know when this thing is gonna go. It must go now. We need to sing for people now. We need to go out and have fun.
You must be happy because where you come from in Western Cape Town to be specific. And Naboka Elijah are really in trouble. You know, it's not a laughing matter. It's not a laughing matter, and the reason for it to spread the way it is the poor social circumstances.
Yes.
Poor housing, poor this, no running water, and people can't, self-isolate, and that's a legacy.
Yes, that is the problem.
So it is said that we're losing so many people. 65% of people who have died of COVID in South Africa are from the Western Cape. So that's not good. That's really not good. And the Eastern Cape is actually fast, chasing, Western Cape. Gauteng and Eastern Cape are competing with who must be number 2, who must be number 3, and it's not good because at the end of the day,
Doctor, please,
people are passing away.
Doctor, please tell them to take away those prams away from the Eastern Cape. We don't want those prams. How can I take my mother, my sick grandmother, and put her in a pram, especially? Please, that is
Okay, no, that's fine. I interviewed an advisor to the MEC yesterday, and he tried to justify them, and people make up their minds about whether what he said is actually worthy or not. But I hear you, Khatebe. But thank you very much. Thank you to all our viewers. It was enjoyable to talk to Mr. Madlingozi, and I'm sure it's not the last time he comes here. But it's important that we profile people like him on a day like this and just hear what this day means to him and the rest of South Africa. Thank you, Mr. Madlingozi.